Hi everyone, Paul, emodels.co.uk. Welcome to part 8 of our Tamiya 132 F4U Corsair build. You saw us last time where we started finishing the touches, the finishing touches on the engine. What I've done off camera in the meantime is I've got all the cowlings on, which I said I was going to do anyway, and they're temporarily attached to the aircraft. Now, just look at the overhead cam. But gaps galore at the minute because all this is just literally push fitted on. This isn't glued in position. I'm going to explain why in a minute. So we have got gaps here and there for now. I've got a little bit of filler in there, which I'll show in a minute as well. And that's it really. So that's where we're at now. All the exhausts are in, they're all sprayed up. They're different colours. Obviously rust's millions of different colours, and I'm going to pigment these up underneath anyway to give them a better effect once they're out from the aircraft. So what I plan to do is, as this pulls apart like so, I plan to leave this in two pieces if I can while the build's progressing until we get to paint, and I'm going to paint these two separate parts. Mainly the reason is, and I'll show you why now, I'm just going to put that to one side. Because of all the work I've done on the engine side, I don't want to ruin it by getting paint. I think if I mask it off, we're going to get paint in the back all over the exhaust and everything, so I'm going to paint it in sections. Now, I'll put it all together because it's quite fiddly to put together. Always design, you've got removable engine covers, top and bottom. They're just friction fitting together, and then this very front piece will pop off as well, like so, and the back will even come off if I wanted to as well. Literally all just friction fitted in, which is why you've seen a few gaps and what have you. What else also happened with me fitting all these bits and bobs on, some of the wires got damaged to detailing, so I need to go around and pick those out and repair those as well. So that's what I plan to do. So basically I've got different sections to paint up, and this will make it a lot easier for me to do. And it's also, my main concern is getting paint down the back of this cowling here, which is going to cover everything in the blue, sea blue main base colour, and I don't want to ruin all my work I've spent on this engine. So I'm going to try my very best to keep this as one part separate from the fuselage for now. If not, I'll put it on, we'll have to do a bit of masking and what have you, but this literally just fits in there like so. And I've skipped through the instructions ahead. I'm going to get it to fit in like so. So this just pushes in, and I'll just glue that in position once it's done at the end. But I've skipped ahead on the instructions, had a good look, and it looks as though I will be able to leave it out. I can't get it back in now. Get in there. Bit of pain. There we go. I can leave it out because the wing sections here fit underneath this anyway. So fingers crossed we'll be okay. So that's my plan for now. So this is done with for now. So I'm going to put all this away. That's the other thing I've done as well. I've sprayed inside this front cowling in Tamiya. I think it was XF. Was it 24? Yeah, XF24 it called out for. So that's been done ready as well. So like I say, if these are off, I can literally spray this as is and not get any paint in there or on there. So these are all going to go to one side for now. We don't need this now, and I'll get the instruction book and show you. We don't need this now for quite a while. So this is what I've done off camera. We were at that stage last time, 29. So what I've done is, all I've done is tidy this up, glued that to the back of there, glued this to the back of here. That's it. So that's the front, that's the rear. You then get the choice of open or the closed cowling, which is the one I glued on. So we haven't gone for the open one at all. The lower exhaust parts were just sprayed and stuck on, and then we actually stuck this to the exhaust at the back. This will stuck them apart for me because the fit of the kit is phenomenal. So like I say, if I want to, I can separate this if I need to. And then the very front bits, we have to choose the B or C variant. I think this is a little bit further on. I might be wrong. I can find where it is. And it must be further back. You have to pick a particular part for the B variant, the C variant, which is what we're doing. I can't seem to find it now. Basically what it is, you leave off that part there, and the part of the cowling goes over instead. I can't actually find it, I don't know where it's gone. It's there somewhere. No idea. So that's where we're at, and then next time we need this engine is all the way up at the very last step in the instruction book where this is together. So hopefully we can leave it off and we can get going that way. So what we plan to do today is we're going to start on horizontal stabilizers, the elevators, which are going to be in the up position on ours. So we just need this. This is the down position. So we just need that part today we're going to be doing. That leads us on to attaching the horizontal stabilizers as well, which literally they just push fit in there. This takes onto the rear landing gear, which we're going to leave till later on as well. So you get the option of landing gear down on the back and landing gear up. So you get a replacement part there or there, depending on if you have it down or up. So you get two options. So I'm assuming by the look of it, all these covers can be, they just push fit in, and obviously you can switch and change should you want it on the floor or on its stand, which I'm not 100% sure which one I want yet. I am tempted to have it in flight, so I don't know what to do yet. But by the look of it, you can choose either or. This then moves on to the extended wing section, and there's the appropriate section for the wings up as well, and we're having extended wings. So this then moves on to all the inner wing structures and what have you, and that's it really, leading us on nicely into the build. As you can see, quite a lot of stages and steps, so we're going to have to break these down quite well in the video to cover it all. And that leads us forward to headway now. So like I say, we're going to start on the horizontal stabilizers today. Just a few parts to attach together. So I'll go and get all these off camera, get them all together and start gluing some bits together. Okay, so I've got all the horizontal stabilizers off the sprues. A little bit of cleanup required. You've got a little bit of the sprue gate just there to snip off on each one. And then best thing to do, because we don't really want to leave this edge just yet, we don't want to be touching this because it'll make this uneven all across. So wait till these are glued together, then sand it off. So all we want to do is just flatten this edge here, and then we'll deal with the leading edge side later on. So like I said, there's just a couple of little bits to take off, so snip them off and get a knife on them, and then it's a case of just get a sander, a couple of goes over, takes them right off. I've got one of our brand new thinny sticks here. I part own UMP, the company that makes these. So we've got a multitude of sanders. The thin one end to get you right in all those places where you need a nice thin sander, and then they widen at the other to give you a broader sander as well. I've been trialing these for a few weeks now, and they're proving absolutely invaluable, absolutely superb. You've got the 240 grit in black on this one, the 180 grit a bit harsher on that one, and the 1200 grit on this one, and they're available in packs of their own. So you get a 6-pack of each grit, and also in a multi-pack with 2 of each in there. So that's them. These are proving very, very useful, and like I say, just these small lugs. So I'm going to use one of the 240 ones. I'm just going to lightly sand across the top, removing any raised detail, so that when we make these two surfaces together, there's nothing hindering them gluing together perfectly. So there you go, as you see, they make short work of that. I'm using the thicker end. If you want to see, you can spin it round. They're a bit more precise. Use the thinner end. So there we go, nice and simple. We need some glue. Tamiya extra thin. Just pop that out of the way there. Right, so treat these as if you treat gluing wings together, like I always say. So you do the old upside down trick with the glue. Just pop these together. Never easy. There we go. So you've got nice mating surfaces on the front, and on the back we've got the recessed area for the elevators. So on the back first, I like to do, obviously make sure you don't get any glue run down your fingers. Just chuck it in there, give it a clamp for a few seconds. Always check your fingers before you touch anything, because if you make a mess of it, it's just an absolute nightmare to try and clean up. Glue all those edges, give them a little push together, and then when it comes to the front, move that out of the way, wipe off the brush, upside down, and let the capillary reaction do the job. It just needs a light clamp, not much pressure at all. And again, where you've got glue on the edges, you can see there, you've got to be very careful you don't get anything on it, because it's going to ruin all your hard work. So once you've done the glue, put it to one side, let it dry. Right, so there's both the horizontal stabilisers glued together. Still a bit wet, so we'll put these to one side for now, let them dry, and we'll work on the elevators while that's drying. So again, a few bits to cut off, just those same little bits there. So all it needs a quick sand to tidy them up, and then this one's hidden just in there like so. There's 5 components to each elevator. They look fairly simple to build, they don't look really over complicated, so they're not going to cause any dramas. Just get the knife on that one there. Pull you guys back a little bit, move the camera before. So like I say, no real drama there, and it's just a case of just lightly sand. In fact, we used a 1200 one on this one. And so you're happy that all your surfaces are nice and flush. We'll start getting some stuff together. Another thing you guys might notice, a few weeks back I had a third camera angle. The camera I was using wasn't very good, in fact it was my phone. So what I've done, I've invested in a third camera, which I've actually got now. Just went on a memory card. So the next video we'll have a full-on frontal, not shot, that sounds wrong. We'll have a front-facing shot of the same quality of these two cameras, because exactly the same as these two. So it'll be the proper 3 camera angles. Like I say, I'm just waiting on a memory card. Can't use it without that, unfortunately. Otherwise I would have used it today. So by the time we come back for part 9, I think it is it, next one, we'll have that up and running and ready. So I had a bit more of a view for you guys, so you'd not just only have this one, you'll have one directly in front and the usual next to me one as well behind. So hopefully that'll enhance the viewing pleasure as such, if it is a pleasure. I don't know, it may be. And there we go, so there's all those components tidied up. So if we orientate ourselves the right way, find out which part is which. So they both look identical. And they are. Right, so looking at the instructions, we've got a piece going there. Like so. It looks like it goes any way. It's not handed. God, I knocked over my extra thin then. It's not handed as such, so it can go any way round. So that's not a problem. So what we'll do is we'll just put a little dab of glue in there just to hold it. A little dab there. And a little runner on the front, and then the next part again sits in there. It's not handed, so it can go in any way. What we'll do is just put a little bit of glue in. We'll sit that in there, and then we have to put the top on, like so. So what we'll do is we'll just line it all up. Oh, I'll move it around like that rather. Line it all up, make sure it all fits how we want it to. Which it does, and then we'll glue it in position. So, same as before, exactly the same. We're going to use the upside down capillary action method. Oh, I did it out of shot, sorry about that. There we go, so let's get a little bit of glue in there first. Do it along that edge. Like so. Just do one little section at a time when you're doing this. Don't try and do it all in one go. All you're going to do is make a mess, and just make sure your fingers are clean. You can see there's a little bit of excess glue just on that edge there. Make sure you don't touch that, and just give it a quick push, working your way around. Always wipe off your brush as well. Don't use too much glue. It's very easy to do, and obviously pay attention to all the parts like so, and then just this rear part at the back. So again, we'll use the capillary action to drag the glue in. And give it a light squeeze together. Then once all this is dry, we'll give it all a good sand to smooth everything out. So there we go, there's that one. I'll do the other one off camera and we'll come back in a minute and we'll get them together. Okay, so there's both the elevators done now. I did leave one little part off, which is this here. I believe it's an actuator, is it? So that just literally gets glued in position like so. Let these dry a bit and we'll sand them. In the meantime, we'll sand off these horizontal stabilizers. I've already done one. I think, which one did I do? That one. We have got a tiny little seam line there that I could take off probably by sanding further back, but I don't really want to. So what I'm probably going to do, probably mist a surfacer on there, let that dry, and come back later on, separate all the sirens outside. I'll show what's happening out there. So then I'll do this one on camera in front of you. So basically it's a 220 grit sander, UMP sander, one of our own. It's a case with the camera for you. All along the edge, hardly any pressure, letting the sander do its work. Obviously because it's a sponge sander, it's a lot less aggressive than a flat one on curved edges, and we're just alternating the angle to get all the way around. Now what we're probably going to be left with, yeah, it's just what we got on the other one. Whether you guys can see it, I don't know. But just there, you'll see like a white line. Now what that is, that's a seam, a little tiny gap where a bit of the sanding dust is collected. So that's what tells me that needs doing. So that's going to need a tiny little bit of Mr. Surfacer as well. What we'll do is we'll give it a proper buff up with UMP buffer. So we can see clear as day then. So what this does, this makes the plastic look just like new. As you can see, there's one major point just where my thumbnail is there, and there's a couple of little ones just along here that need a bit of attention. So all that needs is a little bit of Mr. Surfacer. We'll probably go with 1000. I'll grab it now. If she's going to undo, it was a bit tight last time. Oh God, there we go, a little bit tight. Pop it off. Now this stuff absolutely stinks, so make sure you're in a well ventilated room, but it works very well. Before you start mucking about, look at the area you want to do. Now if it's a large area, I'll use a brush. If it's small, I use a cocktail stick. What I'll do is I'll just touch it in the liquid, get a little bit, and dab it on like that. Let's say use the use of a brush, any cleanup, any mucking about. That's as simple as that. So just look for all the places where you can see signs of a seam line. Just very lightly dab it on. If you want to see, you can do the entire edge, but for me I'm just going to do it where I can see any of that white dust. So there you go, as you can see, a little bit on there. That takes a couple of hours to dry. It starts to dry straight away. It's cellulose based, so whatever you do not be touching it, because it will melt your model. Not as much on this one, because these rear edges, sorry, front edges, very, very fine. Getting the two surfaces to mate perfectly. It's always going to be a little bit tricky, but on this one, it's just that front edge, just along there. I can't see anywhere else. Got a little bit of rescribing to add back in later. In fact, no, it's not. It's re-riveting, so that'll be fun to do. So again, pop that to one side. Make sure they're not touching or anywhere near each other. And then what you can do is leave the lid off that for a couple of minutes, and we'll quickly go over this one. Now I can see a small gap on the back. Slight one on the front, so I'm just going to be very nice and gentle on these rear edges because they are ultra thin. Just to see how we get on. Chucking stuff everywhere. Obviously on parts in here where this is actually inside the stabilizer, you can't see it from outside, so don't be worrying about these parts too much, but the likes of these where it's very, very thin, this is where the thinny sticks come in really handy. Being nice and thin, aptly named thinny sticks, you can get them right in there and tidy up nice and easily. So again, come back with your polisher. Polish it up. No real drama in there. We do have a little bit of a gap there. So what we will do, we'll apply a little bit of glue. We'll see if that'll bond with that dust we had. Again on the back. What we'll do, we've got a little bit of sand and dust in the gap. There's a very, very slight gap on that back. We'll just put a little bit of glue in there. See if that'll take it up. And if that'll sort it out. So exactly the same on this, so the parts are exactly the same. Okay, so all the Mr. surfaces dried, so we're all nice and smooth. We sanded them all with the grey sander and then polished up with the UMP for afterwards, and we've got nice filled leading edges on both of them. So what we need to do now is just a little bit of riveting detail on the front edge of each one. So what we're going to do a freehand. Just going to line it up, trumpeter riveting tool. We're just going to run it over just where we're missing each one, like so. Just add that detail back in. So it's a rotary tool. It's just a case of lining it up with your rivets underneath, line it up at the top, and letting the wheel do the job. Putting them back in. If you're not too sure, you can use a guide, be it a scribing template or a bit of Dymo tape. But for me, that does the job fine. Just one on the edge there. So we keep getting our shot. Quite awkward to do on camera. There we are, and obviously if you can see anywhere it's a little bit vague, you just go over it again. See how you've got all the detail back in you wanted. Just going to add a few lines at the back there. Like so, and then we'll give it just a quick buff over with the white polisher. And jobs are good, and if you can see those. So the riveting's back in. Looks a bit heavy because we've got all the excess plastic still in there for now. But we'll buff all that off later and get rid of it all. So then it's a case of getting your stabilizer, an elevator, making sure we've got it the right way around. So we've got one like so. And one like so. So we've got one up, one down. Yep, so one goes that way, one goes the other way. I'm just looking at the instructions, sorry if I'm quiet. Just having a little read. Yeah, so that's it. So what we'll do, we'll pop a little bit of glue just in there before we close that up. And we'll just run a little seam in there like so, just to get it all together. Flip it over, same on the other side. Shouldn't need a massive amount of glue. Job done. So that's one fully re-riveted, glued together stabilizer and elevator, and then the other thing it requires is this other actuator, which I believe sits in there. So we pop that in place, line it up where it needs to go. It's actually got a little bit bent, so what we'll do, we'll glue it in position, and when it's dry we'll just bend it straight back. So again, the beauty of Tamiya extra thin, just put it where you want it, touch it, job done. Now any areas that are shiny with glue on, there's a little bit there and there's some there. We come back in later with the green side of the buffer, give it a buff up, and then come back with the white and completely polish it all back up, and we'll have one perfect looking wing, stabilizer. So there we go, put that to one side, let that dry. I'll do the other one off camera, we'll come back in a minute and we'll get them attached to the aircraft. Okay, so there's all the stabilizers and elevators all together. All the control surfaces are on, they're glued together. Give them all a little polish up. Still a bit of work on them, but I'll go around the whole aircraft before we come to spraying it to add all this on. So we can now attach these to the aircraft itself. What I've also done off camera, there was two parts that were called for. Just these two little rear sections here and here, so they've just been glued in position. Again, when we come to spraying it, I give all those a good buff and polish up. So referring to the instructions, we have, yep, that one on that side there like so, and then this one the other side like so. Fit is very nice. There's barely any movement once they're in position at all. It's very nice. If I spin it around without knocking them off, obviously they are loose, they're not glued in position yet, but the actual fit of them is very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. So you literally pop in there like so, and then all we need to do then is run a little bit of glue along the edge there. Old Tamiya extra thin again. Once you get it glued in, make sure you push it fully home. Again, make sure your brush isn't completely loaded. I know that's an elevator at the back, and it shouldn't really be glued in position, but it doesn't really make any difference because ours aren't moving anyway. Obviously get one side done, that should hold it enough so that nothing starts falling off. Give them a little press in position for a few seconds. Make sure you get them fully home. Shouldn't be any filler needed on this anywhere. So always pay attention when you're gluing that, you know, you may need a little bit more glue. There's a slightly bigger gap on this left hand side compared to the right. So just pop a little bit more glue in and just hold it for a second, then we'll spin it over, do the same underneath. So what we're going to do today, guys, it's going to be a short part today. I don't know what we've got. I think I've got about 50 minutes of footage. By the time I've edited that, it's going to be about half an hour. So the reason I'm doing that is because we're going to miss the landing gear off the rear for now till the later on stage in the build. I want to start afresh with the underside of the wing sections, because I've only got like 15 minutes of footage left, because I don't like having the videos any longer than 45 minutes. And I'm not going to get a massive amount of work done in that time, so we'll have a short one today and then we come back afresh. I'll go through the instructions again in a minute, show where we're at and where we're going to start next time. So there we go, they're all glued in place, starting to get a bit of shape to the aircraft. It's going to be quite a big bird in 132, not the biggest, obviously Second World War planes are nowhere near as big as modern jets, but it's going to be a fairly impressive model. It's going to be quite long. We're talking about all that cowling on the front. It's going to be a big old bird. So what we'll do, we'll put that to one side. It's going to dry now. Once that's dry, I'll then use the polisher to tidy up all those seams, top and bottom, and anywhere else with any excess glue. So that'll be left until the next part. If I just grab the instructions, I'll show where we got up to today. We've basically done this entire page today. Done those two sections there and this bottom one here, so that's where we're up to now. And the reason I'm calling it short today, because the next step was the rear landing gear. Now I don't want to do that yet. I'll do that together with the front landing gear, because as you know, I like to batch the way I do stuff. So I'll spray this all together with the front landing gear and we'll get it all on in one go. And obviously, because it's removable, it won't be on the aircraft while I'm spraying it anyway, so it'll be one of the last things that gets put on there, so there's no drama today. So like I say, this leads us on. I'm just going to take you up a bit so you got a bit of a wider shot. This takes us on to the extended wing section, which is us, and that leads us right to from step 40 to 79. So we've got 39 steps, not the famous book, to get us to this stage here where we're ready for paint, the fuselage and what have you. So that's where we've got to go now. So we'll come back afresh for next time. What I'll probably do off camera is I'll make up these oil coolers, because they're quite tricky little parts, and obviously that'll take up a big chunk of the next part otherwise. And then we'll concentrate on the wing root underside. This needs spraying in the salmon pink we did on the other the rear landing bay. I haven't got that colour, so I'm going to mix it again. I've got the ratios just there, and I did follow that last time up to the beams, and hopefully we'll get all this in. I'm just reading this. Right, yeah, so you got to prepare for the display stand, which we will be. So there will be a hole underneath, and we'll have either or methods. You're going to have it displayed. I think you can. I will check into that you can have it with the undercarriage up or down. I don't want to commit to it, because I'm going to commit to it. I want it in flight, if I'm honest. I think I do anyway. We'll see. I'll look into that for next time. I'm assuming by the look of it, because all these parts push in, that pushes in. They got little lugs on the edge, which actually correspond with lugs there, and again that just pushes in. And then the rear part, if you're just having it in flight, it's just this large part here. I don't know if that needs glued in position. I will be going for the in flight, purely and simply because of where I display my models. I am running out of room, and to display it in flight I save a bit of room there as well. We'll see. I will look into that and I'll let you know next time we come back for the video. But this is where we're aiming for next time. I build these off cameras, probably get them painted up ready, because they're quite monotonous little parts, just oil coolers. And then we'll come back, start getting these sections on, get this sprayed up, get that beam in, and hopefully we'll get the main landing gear bays built, and then that'll lead us on to getting the top on, getting the wings on, front landing gear. Certainly quite a bit to do still, so whether we're going to get this finished in 12 parts, I don't know, but if we don't, we don't. It's not a problem at all. Well, not for me anyway. Hopefully it isn't for you guys. So I'd say it's been a bit boring. Not the most interesting thing watching me glue horizontal stabilizers together, but they're all in. They're all glued in nicely in position. Just going to make sure that one's in. And we're starting to resemble a bit of an aircraft now. Not much, but it is starting to resemble an aircraft. So like I say, we'll be back a couple of weeks, and we'll get those underside wing root sections done. So Paul from models.co.uk, thanks for watching today. I'll catch you guys next time. As I always say, check out the models website, everything you need on there. It's a fantastic website for all your modelling stuff. I'm forever on there buying stuff. Check out eModels Facebook and YouTube channel, obviously, because you're on there. Like and subscribe to them both. Obviously on the YouTube channel you get my videos and their ones every now and then, and you also get updates on the Facebook page as well, of stock, what they've had new in. These videos are sometimes posted up on there, and as I always say, check out internationalscalemodeler.com, pop over to the forum. This build's logged on there, the video builds are on there, and I take pictures every now and then through there which aren't shared anywhere else at all. Just pop on there, and like I say, go and buy yourself some Ultimate Modelling thinny sticks. They're brand new out, literally appeared on our website the other day, and eModels, well, I think eModels will have them in stock very soon. And there you go, they're very, very handy, really are fantastic. So I'll catch you guys next time, take care, thanks for watching, see you soon.